came in at number 5 after he had a total of 122 yards and a touchdown in the Cowboys' comeback win against the Falcons. Dak Prescott, who had 450 passing yards, 4 total touchdowns in the comeback, was not one of the 7 quarterbacks who cracked the list of 15 players. So Shannon, is Zeke more valuable than Dak right now?
He is, and I'm not so sure, Skip. I don't necessarily agree with the list because I think Kyler Murray, I thought Josh Allen should have been ranked higher than Zeke, considering given what they're doing. But for this argument, I've always felt that Zeke was more valuable than Dak, and their offense flowed better and ran better when Zeke was at the center of it, was the center of attention. And Skip, if you look at this, even though they were behind the lion's share of the game, they still gave Zeke 22 carries. He got 10 in the second half, behind by, 15 with 5 minutes to go. He still got 5 carries in the fourth quarter. So they didn't totally abandon him, and I thought that was good. So now the linebackers just can't hightail it out of there because there's a chance that we can run the draw or we can pitch it or toss it to Zeke, and he still run the football. So you just can't drop and try to get to your zone hooks in your area to cover. So I thought they did a good job of that, Skip. But we've seen this story. The Cowboys are at their absolute best when Zeke is running the football. Dak can play action off of that, and then he finds Amari Cooper wide open. He finds Michael Gallup wide open. He didn't have CeeDee Lamb last year, but if you look at the guys that he had in the slot, Randall Cobb last year, when they can run the football and they can play action off it, Dak is at his absolute best. Now, it's easy to say now, but I think, Skip, you say, well, I like Dak in this situation. Well, the defenses are different. When you got a big lead, Skip, you're just saying, we're not trying to give up no 60-yard touchdowns to let them right back in the game. At least make them chew up 5-6 minutes of the clock. But in the process now, you are allowing the guy to get into a rhythm because basically he's playing pitch and catch. And as long as he doesn't force the football into harm's way, you're going to be good. But I concur. Zeke is the straw, is the engine that makes this car run.
You have contended this for 4 years on this show. I'm sorry, I can't see it. I remain the biggest Dak Prescott fan. Again, I never said he's better than Mahomes. I don't even say he's better than Deshaun, or certainly Lamar at this stage. But
he better than Kyler?
Boy, Kyler.
Yeah, look at that, Dak. He turned it on you.
I'm not turning on anybody. I saw Kyler before you did.
He played.
He is something. He is a little force of nature. He's a little big man. And now finally they're starting, Cliff Kingsbury's starting to let him get out and run a little bit here and there, or maybe he's more comfortable because he's a great slider because guess what? He got drafted in the first round to play baseball.
Yeah.
So he knows how to get down as opposed to an RG3 who never could figure out how to slide and got crushed because of it.
Yep.
But now back to my man, Dak Prescott. What he did in the second half the other day was just extraordinary to me, and I get it. There's not the intensity on defense. I get it, because they fell behind 20-0, and it was 29-10 at halftime. And Dak Prescott led this league in second half passing yards last year. It's what he does very best. But he was so extraordinary Sunday because usually this is a recipe for like 3 interception disaster where you start just winging it and winging it. You'll try just about any throw to get your team back in the game. How many picks did he throw Sunday? How about a big old 0?
None, 0.
Right?
Yep.
So I appreciate that because it's hard to do. It's hard to throw for 312 yards in the second half. I don't care who you're playing against Atlanta. It's still hard to throw for 312. Last year against Aaron Rodgers and company, he threw for 329 in the second half. It's just hard to do, man. It's just, I don't care who you are. That's top 5 kind of passing, those kind of yards. It shows your heart. It shows your will. It shows your concentration, that you will not be deterred by the scoreboard. You just keep on keeping on, and you actually lock in a little harder and a little deeper because you're so far behind.
Right.
Okay, so I get what you say about Zeke, but I'm going to concede this. I told you after game number 1, that's Sunday night at Rams. Somehow he came back this year with a little bigger chip on his shoulder. He's running with a little new edge, a little different edge, a little more fury, a little more intensity. He looks a little quicker, a little sleeker. a little more powerful. I started to see flashes of 2016 Zeke, and it did my heart good.
Yeah.
But in the end, this is just me. This team will go as far as that quarterback takes them. I don't disagree with your premise. It helps play action, obviously, when you got 21 behind you, and they have to honor him.
Right.
They just do, because he doesn't have breakaway speed. He can't house you like he did at Ohio State. I keep you say I hang on to those games. It wasn't even his last year. It was
his sophomore year.
Second year.
Yeah.
Second year at Ohio State. Obviously came out after 3. But he just ran wild on Wisconsin, and he ran wild on Alabama, and wilder on Oregon. He had 246 against Oregon in their cross-country runs. Well, I don't see that guy that much anymore, because you don't see the 20-yard getaway runs where he just breaks it off and makes you miss in the open field. But in the end, my quarterback baffles me, because the only thing I need more from him is I need to see extraordinary passing right out of the gate.
Right.
I need to see him take over a game early instead of late.
And what you see, Skip, is that you keep saying like the second half. But they're saying it in the second half is because the teams are so far ahead, they just don't want to give up anything cheap or deep.
Okay.
And so now he's, like you say, ping, 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 ping. You want to see that in the flow, in the normal flow of the game.
I do.
Without being behind by 25, without being behind by 23.
Yeah.
Okay, Dak, it's 0-0. It's 7-0. Okay, go do what you do now.
All right. So just to reiterate, my nightmares of last year when they went 8-8, you were all over him early.
Yeah.
They go to New Orleans, and it's Teddy Bridgewater.
Right.
And it